Hi, so today I wanted to do a quick tutorial on how to do some motion graphics in Blender. So I'm going to recreate the Stranger Things title sequence. I haven't looked at it in a while, so I'm going to watch a video of it for reference, but I know that this is the font that is, well, the closest font that I can find to use for it. So I'm going to download that. I'm going to open it up. I'm just going to extract this to my downloads folder so that I can easily find it in Blender. So first I'm going to delete everything in Blender. I'm going to add a new text object. I'm going to go into the data properties of the text object. I'm going to go into font, to my downloads folder. I'm going to find the folder called ITC ITC Benjuet. Just pick the first one. That's good enough. So now what I'm going to do is add a modifier. I'm going to generate wireframe. Wireframe, anyone? So what I'm going to do first, because wireframe is only available for meshes, I'm going to write my text first. I like working non-destructively, but unfortunately, in this case, I don't think I will be able to. Let me just see. No, it's not available there. Edit, deform, physics, no. So convert to mesh, and then add a generate wireframe. Whoa! Oh, that's not good. Fuck. Faces. Get rid of the faces. Actually, oh, you know what I could do? I could select non-manifold edges. What the fuck? Oh. Non-manifold. And then invert, and then delete edges. And now I can add wireframe. Why are you working? Okay, well, I'm gonna convert this to a curve. And then I'm gonna go here and to the data properties, into geometry, change the bevel. There we go. And now I'm gonna add a material. Emission, make it red. Go into my preview, change my background to black. Go into my compositor, use nodes, preview this by hitting Control-Shift and then clicking on this node. I'm going to shift drag to create a new node there. I'm going to render this. Oh, I need a camera, so I'm going to add a camera. I'm going to Control-Alt-0 on the numpad to center my camera to my view. You know what, I'm not even going to use the reference. I'm just going to, you know, you guys can do that. I'm going to go back to my compositor, render an image so I can get a preview. What is it? They used to have bloom directly in Eevee, but now they added it to the compositor only. Into glare, bloom. There we go. I'm going to render another image. High quality. Let's good. I think I'm going to just mix 100%. Now, if you wanted to do the thing where the lines get drawn as you know, throughout the text, I'm going to go back into edit mode on the curve. Sort, is it sort? Control points, curve. You know what, I'm going to just apply this modifier. I, again, don't like working non-destructively generally, but I'm going to convert to mesh so that I can have the actual geometry, and then I'm going to sort the vertices, or I think it's the edges. Sort elements, view x-axis, and then I'm going to add a build modifier so that it gradually draws the text. I'm going to change this to be longer so that it draws it gradually. And because I don't like how it jumps there, jumps the lines, I'm going to rotate this slightly at an angle and do the same thing, sort elements, view x-axis, and then rotate it back so that now it should, but now it's jumping that way. Well, at least you get these nice, you know, smooth parts here. So now I'm going to animate my camera so that it's closer in at the beginning. Put a keyframe here, and then I'm going to follow the line, keyframe there. Now, this is not going to be the entire title sequence, just to give you an idea. Maybe I'll animate the length here so that when I go here, it will be further along. And then I can change my camera to be over here. Get rid of this keyframe. Here, again, change this so it's further along. And then over here, I'll make it 0 so that it's all drawn. And then here, I'll make it just out. Here. Maybe I'll put that at the end, and I'll put another keyframe over here, just cause. And I believe that's it. Render animation. We should see what comes of it. This is just a quick tutorial. I wanted to do more Blender tutorials. If any of you watched my previous one, you know that I had planned to do more long form ones. You know, life happened, so I haven't gotten around to that. But I'd like to do especially more motion graphics type things because I think it's a very underappreciated part of Blender. The first like second of frames there's nothing happening, I realize. So I'm going to change this. Oop. What? That's weird. I 1. Why is the first frame 0? That's weird. Blender's a little finicky sometimes, but I don't mind since it's like, why is frame 1 0? That's weird. That shouldn't happen. That shouldn't happen. Maybe this, and then, oh, it's still 0. What the heck? Oh, there we go. Okay. Okay, this is not going to be exactly, obviously, how it is, but oh, I have to, what? What's happening? Oh, oops. Okay, that's it. There we go. Okay, so obviously timing fucked up, but you can, Anyway, so back to, I want to do more motion graphics type stuff because I think it's super underappreciated in Blender. To do this in After Effects would have taken, I don't know how long, maybe the same amount of time if you know what you're doing. But there's certain things that I feel like if you are comfortable working in 3D a bit and getting your hands dirty with that, there's huge advantages. Like I'm not 100% happy with the fact that you can see the polygons being filled in, but that's because it's a circular right pipe that's being drawn, and I could have tweaked my settings there to make it so that there was only one polygon as opposed to multiple in a cylinder. There could have been like one face and it could have drawn that way. There's a whole bunch of ways you could have drawn the lines in Blender. So it all depends on what your use case is, what effect you're trying to achieve. Actually, I could turn on motion blur so that there's a bit more hidden stuff there. And honestly, what I can also do is just select all the faces that are not facing the camera and delete those so that we're not unnecessarily drawing the back faces, essentially. Whoa. And what I could also do maybe in compositing is have it blur before. I could do filter, blur, not that much, just a bit more. So now it's getting rid of those jaggies, and then I could levels. No, not levels. Color ramp. And you could have, I guess, made the red, because now it's gonna, make this red. So to sharpen it a bit more, now I could, so blurring softens it, and then adding a color ramp again, you can sharpen the edges back. So now you're getting a bit more of a natural curving. I don't want to save this. Render animation. So yeah, I just want to do more motion graphics type stuff because it's really quick. You can get a lot of really nice effects very quickly. I'm gonna, after this, just quickly show you another kind of fun thing I did with a similar technique to kind of create like a title that kind of draws in with a nice ray cast kind of effect, almost as if there's light coming through an opening. And yeah, you can get some really cool effects very quickly in Blender, and the fact that it's 3D, you have a lot of control over your movement of every element. You can animate any parameter in Blender, which is really nice. And then you can tweak the timing in the curve editor. You have a lot of granular control. There's a lot of procedural effects, procedural timing effects you can do. There's all the things you'd expect from animation curves already built in. So stuff like a bounce or an exponential curve or elastic where it will jump back and forth to the position, which I think exists in After Effects. I'm not an expert on After Effects. I've just found, I have used it, and I've just found that it can be really obtuse sometimes, depending on what you're trying to achieve. It can get really complicated when you're trying to achieve a relatively simple effect. So for me, I mean, Blender right now is my go-to software for basically anything, even video editing. I'm probably going to edit this video in Blender because I don't do any complicated stuff. I just want to maybe trim some bits out, change the audio, adjust maybe levels, maybe add an arrow here, there. You know, it's pretty good for that kind of stuff. And I like keeping everything in the same software. I've never liked jumping around to different softwares when I can avoid it. Don't like that transition there with the blur, but whatever. Again, the timing, you can figure out your own timing for these kinds of things. I just think, you know, it's a proof of concept. Like as you can imagine, you could tweak this like many things. You could tweak this till the end, till the cows come home. So yeah, we're at 134 frames. What else? Yeah, I want to do more motion graphic stuff. If you have anything you'd like to see in the comments, let me know. I do want to potentially do more kind of recreating title sequences. You know, like The Thing comes to mind, The Matrix, anything with type, text, faces, but also like I said, motion graphic stuff, animating, so relatively simple animations, you know, panning and zooming. I feel like it's a pretty powerful tool. What the heck is going on with that? I hope those are the render passes. Just what is happening there? Oh, you know what it is? It's the motion blur, and then the levels are pulling out. I wonder, that's going to be pretty interesting, actually. I wonder if my lines will be clear when it zooms out. I'm not sure about that. Because of the way I did my blur and levels, it might actually, the text might not be visible when you pull out. But you can get some interesting effects, like unexpected effects like this. Happy little accidents, as Bob Ross would say. Yeah, my text is going to be completely gone once it's... But again, I could animate, I could actually animate the parameters in the compositor to compensate for that, if I wanted to. I'm just going to let this finish and we can see how it looks. Again, I would tweak this further if I wanted to get it, but I wanted to make it a very quick thing. I don't want to spend like an hour trying to make this video, re-recording myself, doing a bunch of things. I hope that this has been useful to you in some way or another. I may tweak it a bit. My perfectionism is showing. I want to make this look good, so I'll probably make that change. I'm going to change the sample amount so that it renders quicker, and maybe render it at half resolution so that it's faster. I think this looks pretty good. I think this will look pretty good. I'm hoping. That's a pretty cool effect, honestly. Let's see. I'm gonna I'm gonna make sure. So I'm gonna scrub to like here in my timeline, and make sure that you can see the fucking text. Yeah, there we go. Maybe change this blur amount. It's too high. That's why. Wow, wow, wow. Okay, that's pretty cool. So yeah, I'm gonna change this to like 1 because I don't need to sample more than one. I don't need more than one sample. It looks fine. Maybe again tweak this so that this area here is better. There we go. Okay. So, and I'm going to render it half resolution so that it just is faster. And if you want to tweak the timing, if you're happy with how it is, but it's just too fast, you could use the time stretching here. So change your old, if you want to double the speed, you put your new at 200. Then you just have to increase your frames that are being rendered, because it will still use, if you're at 250 frames, it will still only render 250, but it will be half the speed. So you have to adjust your max, your frames that you're rendering. But I think that's great. Love Eevee. Look how fast it is. It's basically real time, which is pretty cool. And those little jaggies, are because my samples are so low, but as you can see, the blur is kind of getting rid of that, more or less, which is nice. Again, I haven't watched the Stranger Thing title sequence in a while, but I'm pretty sure it starts with following the lines around, and then it gradually kind of pulls out. And maybe the text like moves in, but again, you could have different text objects that you, again, animate together. And because you have a camera in 3D space, you don't really have to worry about scaling objects so much, as you can literally just move your camera around in 3D space. So if you want parallaxing, that comes free when you're using a 3D software. You literally just layer things in 3D space and you move the camera and you get parallaxing, which is nice. And if you don't want parallaxing, you can switch your camera to orthographic view so that you don't get that. Oh, look how fast that was. That was amazing. So again, a little pop in there because I haven't tweaked the animation. Pretty cool, pretty cool. So yeah, see, like that was really fast. So let's say I don't want that to be that fast. Now, because I'm tweaking things, I might as well tweak this so that my thing draws correctly. Out of here, transform. I don't care. Why does that happen? It's so weird. Okay, there we go. So now it should. There we go. There we go. Okay. And this camera move I'm not happy with. I'm gonna just change this to, instead of interpolate linear or whatever, I think it defaults to Bezier. I'm just gonna do constant so that it just jumps, although it's still blurring, which I'm not happy with that. Is it gonna do that in the render? It does. Ah. Okay, well that's fine. The blur is gonna get oh no, I don't want this one to be linear. I don't want this one to be maybe these also linear? Let's see. Let's see what that looks like. Maybe this one, Bezier. This one, Bezier. Easing in and out. Okay, I'm gonna stop after this. I'm gonna stop. That's just for fun. We're gonna do. Just for funsies. Okay, so I'm gonna change my camera. So silly. Okay, thank you for watching. I will show you the other file I did before I go. But I'm pretty happy with this. And again, what was this going? How long has this been going? 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, half hour? I don't remember. And again, another way, I'll show you in the other one, how you can mask or hide things. You can literally just put a plane, the background's black, so it could have just put another piece of geometry in front and move that around to like mask or unmask elements. Transparency is allowed, or transparency is supported in Blender as well. So I could have rendered this in such a way that the black background was actually transparent and the bloom is rendered correctly across that transparent background. That's going to be a cool effect with the text kind of getting omitted. Oh, that's pretty cool. Okay, last thing. I'm gonna change the timing to be double, and then I'm gonna change my end frames to be ×2, 500. Maybe while that's happening, let's see if this works. Can I open another? Oh, I can. I would never try this with 3ds Max. Opening another window of 3ds Max while a render is happening. So here's my other file. So I'll quickly look at this. I'm rendering and I'm showing you another file. Amazing. So this, as you can see, it's a similar thing where I'm building out my glyphs, and then I have this wipe effect using just a few planes that are separated out and that are scrolling across the screen. And then this transition is just a plane, an angled plane that's being moved through the geometry to kind of wipe them away. And then in the compositor, oh, now the frame's going to be blank because it's the last frame. Also, I think the other Blender is prioritizing the render right now, so it's not liking that I just hit render because the other Blender's rendered. But it should be done in a bit. Maybe I'll just cancel that. Cancel. It's okay. Well, should have expected that. It's amazing that I was able to do that at all. But as you'll see, just in the compositor, in the compositor, I'm putting my render layer through a glare, so bloom similar, and then I'm doing sunbeams, which creates kind of a, like it says, sunbeams, which makes it look like there's a light shining behind. Oh, look at that. Maybe I can just actually switch to render view here, and it will show what, oh, there we go. There we go. So beautiful. So the text is getting drawn in, I have my light beams, and then I have my planes that kind of cut through, make a little interference in the sunbeams. And then I animated the sunbeams so that I reduced them so that the text is more visible. And then my planes coming in, brought the sunbeams back in, and it creates a nice loop where the first and last frame are black, so it can just loop. So yeah, that's it now. Now I'm done. Perfect timing. So now we'll look at that other video. Haven't even saved this file. Living dangerously. So there you go. That's actually kind of a cool effect with it building up, but if you wanted it to be smooth, you could figure out a number of ways to do that. Ta-da! Anyway, thanks for watching. Bye.